Eggplant, a solanaceous crop native to Asia and India, is related to plants such as tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. While it is grown as a perennial plant in its native region, it is mostly grown as an annual crop in America and other parts of the world. Although some people may not enjoy it, eggplant is a popular summer crop that some people plant. In this video, we discuss various eggplant varieties and offer tips on growing them successfully. Additionally, we will harvest what I believe to be the largest eggplant I've grown, so don't miss it. Eggplant comes in a variety of colors, making it a versatile crop to grow. Eggplants come in a range of shapes, sizes, and colors. From pure white to the classic dark purple or blackish, there are even green and pale creamish-colored varieties available. Their shapes can range from a little ball style to the long and thin Japanese-style eggplants. The most commonly grown eggplants in America, such as Black Beauty, have a thicker bell-like structure, similar to the classic eggplant emoji. Eggplants can be as small as the patio baby, ideal for container gardening, or as large as the biggest eggplants you have ever seen. There is a variety of eggplants available to suit everyone's needs. In the video's conclusion, I'll display a honking massive eggplant that's sure to impress you. At Epic Gardening, we have a selection of specific varieties available if you're looking for something particular. Italian eggplant varieties such as Rosa Bianca, Traviata, and Beatrice are commonly found in American supermarkets, with less firm flesh and a sweeter taste. Moving on to the Asian varieties, the Chinese and Japanese eggplants are ideal, with options like Purple Shine and Shoya Long. These eggplants have a longer, slender, and stretched-out appearance, with tender skin and high productivity. They are delicious to consume. For Thai eggplants, you can opt for Pech Siam or Thai round varieties. Personally, I have grown Thai round eggplants, which are typically green and no larger than a golf ball. These eggplants are prolific and can yield a considerable harvest when grown correctly. Let's delve into the tips for growing incredible eggplants. As you can see from this successful patch I have grown, proper growing techniques are crucial to obtain the best results. The eggplant plant can grow up to 3 or 4 feet tall, depending on the variety. However, before we discuss the plant's growth, let's rewind and focus on starting from seed. Some of the more rare or specialty eggplant varieties I mentioned are only accessible if you begin growing them from seed. As eggplants belong to the same family as tomatoes and peppers, the seedling process is quite similar, with the seeds looking alike. To start with, when you are growing eggplants from seeds, and ensure they receive adequate moisture, heat, and light, especially after germination. It's worth noting that eggplants are particularly fond of heat compared to other plants in the same family, including tomatoes and peppers. In my experience, my eggplants took off only after the summer heat arrived, whereas my tomatoes and peppers were already flourishing. Therefore, it's crucial to wait for the temperature to reach at least 50 degrees Fahrenheit before moving your eggplants outside, and gradually harden them off to prevent them from getting shocked. Regarding positioning in the garden, take note that eggplants thrive in full sun exposure. In my backyard garden at Epic Gardening, the patch is facing east and west, so it receives sunlight all day except when there are clouds blocking it. The eggplant is a high-heat loving plant that thrives in temperatures ranging from 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit and requires ample water, especially when developing its juicy fruit, which is actually a berry from a botanical perspective. For optimal care, you should mulch the ground around the plant with microbark, wood chips, or compost to a depth of a few inches, which will help retain moisture. Unlike peppers or tomatoes, eggplants do not require much pruning, and in fact, you should avoid pruning too much of the upper foliage to protect the delicate and tender fruit from excessive heat. While the plant loves heat, the fruit benefits from being partially shaded under the canopy. The care of eggplants is simple, as long as you follow the basic principles of providing plenty of sunlight, adequate moisture, and fertilizing it with a good all-purpose organic granular fertilizer, much like you would do for a tomato or a pepper. If you want to fertilize your eggplant when planting it out, you can opt for a heavier amount of phosphorus and potassium. However, it's not crucial to be too specific with the type of fertilizer. A general organic granular fertilizer applied at the start of the season should suffice, and additional fertilization can be done as the plant starts to fruit. When growing in containers, a 7 to 10 gallon grow bag should suffice for an eggplant, but a 15-gallon heavy root pouch is also a great option. Eggplants are an excellent choice for container gardening on balconies or patios. When experimenting with summer crops in containers, choosing a variety like fairy tale or patio baby can be ideal as they are more compact plants and can be moved to follow the sunlight. A monster-sized eggplant like the one I have might not be suitable for your patio, so opt for a smaller one that produces delicious small fruit you can use in your meals. Now, let's move on to the harvest. I must warn you, this particular eggplant looks a bit strange, but it is a big one. When it comes to harvesting eggplants, timing is crucial. You want to ensure that you don't wait too long before picking them, as they can become overripe and lose their delicious taste. Look for glossy skin with a slight shine, and avoid any eggplants that are turning yellow or brown. It's best to harvest them when they're on the younger side, as this prevents the seeds from fully developing, which can negatively impact the flavor profile. Unlike peppers or tomatoes, eggplants have a sturdy stem connection called the peduncle. To harvest, you'll need pruning shears to cut the stem carefully, avoiding any tearing or damage to the plant. Of what's going on inside. As you can see, there are quite a few seeds in here, which is not ideal for the best flavor. It's better to harvest eggplants when they're a bit younger and the seeds haven't fully developed. This smaller eggplant, on the other hand, is looking much better in terms of seed development. When you're cutting open an eggplant, it's a good idea to use a sharp knife to make a clean cut through the flesh. You can see that the flesh of the eggplant is quite firm and dense, with a creamy white color. This means it's ripe and ready to be eaten. Overall, harvesting eggplants is a bit different from other vegetables like peppers and tomatoes, but with a little practice, you'll get the hang of it. Just remember to keep an eye on your plants and harvest them when they're at their best for the most delicious flavor. Looking at what we have here, it's actually not bad. Normally, when you harvest too late, you'll see a ton of seeds in there, and while I can see a little bit developing, I'm not even going to cut this one open because I want to preserve it. I'm pretty sure this one's in a good position. With eggplants, it's important to harvest early and often, not only for freshness and taste, but also to keep the production going. If I had harvested this honker a little earlier, maybe I'd have more that look like this. Please visit our channel if you want to know how to grow pumpkins at home.